Who am I? Well, my name is Kim. I grew up on the west side of town.
I'm Diana Lopez and I'm 25 years old.
My name is Carolyn Hamilton Clark. Everybody calls me Bubbles, and I am the CEO, founder of Sisters Working Against Gang Violence.
My name is Candy Lewis and I'm the Executive Director of the Positive Results Corporation.
My name is Tiffany Spade. I'm living the family life.
My name is Flor and everyone knows me as Lady E Slick.
My name is Jonika. I grew up on the west side.
My name is Rayshana. I grew up on the east side of 109th and Avalon.
My name's Allie Denise Dillon, but everybody around the neighborhood calls me Niecy. I grew up in Watts.
My name is Kimberly Williams, and I am the founder and CEO of the Matriarch Society, better known as the author and speaker Kim Self.
Hello, I'm Kelly Dillon. I am the founder of Back to the Basics. Back to the Basics is an organization that focuses on community empowerment through education, through awareness, and also collaborating with outside resources to mostly the Southeast area. The area in which we want to set up Back to the Basics is surrounded by junior high schools, in which most of the kids in that area fall into prostitution, they fall into gang violence, drug selling, and trafficking and using and so forth. There's a lack of community programs. When people get into situations of poverty, of not being able to become employed, or they're looking for love, or they're looking for family and acceptance, we go about the right thing, wanting the right things for the wrong reasons.
I think a lot of us girls that are out here looking for whatever it is in the street is mostly because we don't got no self-worth, we don't got no value within ourselves.
Inside my home, I was raised by grandparents, so everything was quiet, stable. We did the same thing every day. But when I got outside, when I got to school, I don't even think they know who I was.
Okay, once you're like 8 years old, that's when you start seeing the kids kind of like shift into the gang life. They start going to like the little meetings, so they start like patrolling the neighborhood. They're selling weed or just different stuff. And then the girls too, like the girls either gonna get involved with a guy and she's gonna be associated from that standpoint, or she gonna like join, or she gonna join like be from the gang.
I got pregnant at a young age. The father wasn't in his life, and just basically I had to be a young mother at the age I was. I had to survive. I had to learn how to survive at a young age. Basically, it's not about me no more. It's about me being a teenage parent with a child.
My mother chose to use crack cocaine, and I had a mishaps from that, and a lot of hidden anger.
4 years ago, I still walk these streets in this neighborhood at this same park. I sat and I got drunk in it. I sold drugs in it.
My mother gave me my first joint and thought it was cool, thought it was cute. Oh, look at her, y'all. She my grand smell or what have you. And it pretty much went from there.
I didn't feel like the other women in my family, that they understood me, that as a child, they didn't know what I needed. I had been molested. My father was on drugs.
We're supposed to be a family and be one, and I didn't get that.
I lost everything being out here. I lost my children, I lost my home, I ended up in the street living in my hunger shack in the backyard. Over drugs, over gangbanging, over being active in the streets.
I chose to press the line. I chose to press the line because I didn't want to take any losses, period. I didn't want to feel like a victim. I didn't want to be talked about. I didn't want to feel less than. So if I could get you first, then okay.
A lot of abuse, a lot of domestic violence, not knowing that there were the resources, different shelters at the time. So my shelters were various motels in the street, in which got me deeper into my substance abuse. And that was my safe haven from the violence.
We have these pockets in LA that are not receiving the services that they should be and on the level that they should be. And also there's an increase of gang violence within this last 2 years. And a lot of young women have been involved in those. And so that's one of the incentives too, is to be Back to the Basics, be the headquarters for the women in intervention team. to bring us all together and to give us a little bit more powerful voice in this work we do.
As women, I think that we need support. We need support like for our dreams. We need support with raising our children. We need support in relationships. And because I didn't get that, I'm real passionate about giving that to other women.
When you talk about domestic violence and sexual assault, we're also talking about homelessness, drug abuse, alcoholism. We talk about single family households as well as dual family households. We talk about people coming back home from being incarcerated, and all of these were part of the problem, and no one was addressing that at all.
I didn't realize that there was an anger and a hurt and a resentment building up inside of me.
I didn't see myself at 28. I'm like, maybe I might die. Like, I just didn't have that type of vision. You know, I never had that forward thinking. So after I graduated, it's like, okay, like now what am I going to do?
April 13th of this year, I was shot right here. I don't know if you can see. That was a wake-up call for me. It was time to leave the streets alone. It took for me to get shot to just like completely sit down and just be like, you know what? It's more to life than this.
We want to educate and train youth so that they can help their friends and family.
We focus on the connection between domestic violence and gang violence and how that violence perpetrates from the home to the streets and back from the streets to the home. We offer domestic violence, batterers intervention. So we deal with the victim and we deal with also what we call the perpetrator of or the abuser of domestic violence, whether it be male or female. Most perpetrators of violence, of those who are do crime, have found that violence works. It produces positive results for them. So having to give them different educational tools or different techniques and tools to use, and also anger management skills in order to go give them a different way of going about getting their needs met or establishing healthy relationships as opposed to aggressively trying to have those things through power and control. We also look at the gang reduction youth development and also taking that education back into the schools. Because who I am today at 40 years old is it wasn't who I was at 19 when I first walked into prison.
What you didn't get, you give. Just because you know what it's like to not have gotten it.
It's not where I've come from, but where I'm going. I don't want to use me and my trials and tribulations that I went through as Lady Slick just a few months ago be the reason why I don't succeed or become successful. I don't want to be that stereotype that everyone thinks I'm going to be. I just refuse.
Every situation is a learning situation. Every process is a process that we have to go through in order to find out who we are. And that's what happened with me. I had to go through situations. I had to go through different processes to find out who I was and what made Rayshana happy. Not what made Ray happy, what made Rayshana happy. And at this point in my life, I'm happy on the decisions I made.
I want the whole experience. Like, I want to know what it's like to, like, you know, have a good career. You know, get back to the community, like, have my children. Like, I just want that experience.
I tell women, like, you don't even have to biologically be a mother, but if you're that aunt that rides for all your nieces and nephews, if you're that go-to person in your family or in your organization or in your church, you are the leader of your tribe or your community.
If it's going to help one, then job well done, on to the next.
I do want to reach, like, the girls like me.
I would tell myself.
I would tell her,
if you are caught up in gang life as I was, define your hood. Don't let your hood define you.
There's more to life than just this. Being a gangbanger is not just partying, getting high. No, it comes with a lot. It comes with the risk of you losing your life. It comes with you going to jail. It just comes with a whole lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
The things that I went through, they don't have to go through because they were immature mistakes.
To love herself.
To be recognized and to be accepted.
You all right. What you going through it's small and it'll pass.
Just stay happy, no matter how hard it may be, because it is hard.
Don't ever feel like you're inferior because, you know, you're in these circumstances, like you have a voice too.
It's not the end of the world. Like, you have something to live for.
You're gonna sit in front of someone and you're gonna tell your story. You're gonna tell what it took for you to get to the next point, until you finally were able to overcome all those obstacles.
You can always find somebody that's going through the same thing you're going through, and they can relate to you and tell you know what? I've been there, and this is how I was able to overcome that situation.
Today, this is who I am. I'm sober, I'm clean, and when I walk the streets, I'm in the deepest of the trenches, and I'm the same person. When I go hard, I go hard. But now I'm going hard to save a life.
I cry inside because I see that same little girl, and if I had someone to tell me, I said I was gonna do this. If I had someone to pull me to the side and make those same statements, maybe it would have been different. Maybe.
Thank you for watching and supporting this project. We need more people like you to get involved, to be concerned with the issues that are happening with others that may not have a voice or may not be able to fight for themselves. So I just want to say thank you.